Okay, story time. We are reading the Wetiko book by Paul Levy. Please, please give me feedback on the audio and comments on delivery, and please keep it empathetic. We understand empathy right now. We can understand and that wetiko, the translation of this word is incest. Any age can understand this word. I could understand this word at 6 years old. I'm doing this for my inner 6-year-old self and my infant self who cried from the crib for my mother that intentionally never came from bad nursing advice, from medical malpractice advice. So I'm doing this for myself and other disabled and future disabled people. So, moving on. I am a NBC producer's blacklisted child, and you can't take those facts from me. That's my lived experience. And it's going to be interesting threading ancestral insight with this book. So, part one, let's see what we can do in one take. All right. So, it's a great book. It reminds me of my Mayan books that I used to have. I miss those books so badly. So badly. They were perfect books. They were excellent books, but they were intimidating books. Thick books are extremely intimidating. Heavy art books are extremely intimidating for a profound ADHD mind. All right? So, let's just do some introductions. Keep up introductions here. I am profoundly ADHD. I'm not mentally ill. I have incest trauma, like the rest of the world. As this book will explain as I read, because when I study Carl Jung, I quit because it's like I am this guy. So it just makes me kick out. I feel like I already understand shit. When you're born empathetic, and I'm not saying I was born perfect. I definitely wasn't, but I was definitely more in sync with myself, and I lost my synesthetic syncing abilities over time, and I don't appreciate how that happened to me through the medical system, through early ABA. So, yeah, colonial therapy is not going to heal anyone. Cope. Because I'm trying to as I read. So, let's cope together. This was published in, where are you? Come on. Yep, 2011. Copyright 2011. Okay, that was, oh, that's excerpts. Oh, yeah, here we go. Copyright 2021. Yeah, because I remember my Hard Brace handbook. Thank you, Tiffany Griffiths from the University of Evansville. She had integrity, better than my own mother. Wish she were my mom, but she doesn't adopt people. So, white people are not good at adopting each other. Let's just say that. Eurasian people are very poor at adopting each other. Personal experience speaking. Okay, let's get to it. So, the foreword by Larry Dossi, MD. Wouldn't it be chilling to learn that a mind virus was rapidly spreading throughout the world, infecting our own society and manifesting in people close to us, even in ourselves? It is a madness that has always plagued humanity. But today, we are increasingly aware of it and seeing it for what it is. Some call it evil. Paul Levy calls it wetiko. Wetiko, italicized, is a successor and italicized, dispelling wetiko, breaking the curse of evil, in which Paul Levy amplified the Native American concept of wetiko. You recognize how I'm basically a telegraph machine? Okay. So, seemingly malignant spirit responsible for fearsome disease of the soul. Paul Levy expands on this indigenous understanding with his deep study of Jungian psychology and his knowledge of mythology, shamanism, and quantum physics, combined with his original insights and experiences. Whether you are new to Paul Levy or have read his other writings, you are now in for a reading experience that is both fascinating and unsettling. Understatement. Yeah. Just learning about incest is an understatement. I mean, I accepted it when I learned about it. I radically accepted that as a kid. I was like, yeah, that is what I am. Yeah, I know I'm a bastard. Yeah, I know I'm incested. Yeah, I know I'm an inbreed. Yeah, I'm not an R word or a G word, but I can say the words and still not get hurt by them. What words can people not say that they get hurt by and confused by? Oh, I don't know your words. I don't know your words. I don't know you out there. So let's just keep it going. Wetiko says levy is a psychological force within the unconscious mind that predisposes us toward unwholesome impulses such as the thirst for power and control, greed, and jealousy. People who are possessed by Wetiko are deeply selfish. They seldom have any interest in the well being of others. Wetiko is a stealth factor. We rarely suspect its presence, even when its affects when it affects affect with an A, not effect. My mother taught me. My mother taught me affect from effect. My mother was an English literature major from Louisville, Kentucky, not Oxford. Like they, scrambled her in the newsroom. They coded her in the newsroom. Okay. Character coding. People get character coded. Blacklisted people get character coded in shows. And then, the wealthy brats get to play them. Alison Pill got to play me. I am not a blonde. I do not want to be a blonde. I look good as a blonde, but whatever. I don't like who I look like as a blonde. All right. Wetiko is a stealth factor. We rarely suspect its presence even when it affects our own behavior. It's okay. I got my Wetiko. My Wetiko got me. We're good. All right. So, Wetiko, as Levy shows, is prefigured in psychiatrist C.G. Jung's Jung concept of shadow, unsavory part of our unconscious psyche that we reject in our conscious awareness. Many people recoil from the idea that nice, well-behaved citizens could secretly harbor evil thoughts and impulses, but these counter forces in presence to some degree in everyone. And the fact that he calls it a soul still is not soul, it's energy. Default to the Hawaiian calendar that got bastardized by white supremacy, okay? The number 14 is in white supremacy because they take the calendars of all over the world. White supremacists take the calendars of all over the world and scramble them and use them all at once, but they love the Hawaiian one. They want Hawaii for themselves, okay? So they can cosplay being native people for themselves, like Lord of the Flies, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. And other, horrible examples. So, as I write, Wetiko is having a field day across the globe, visible in headlines and rapidly changing current events that are evoking fear, anger, chaos, disruption in individual and collective life. How does this mind virus spread and what inhibits it? Incest. Incest is what Wetiko does. Empathy is what Ubuntu does. Ubuntu reduces Wetiko. You're welcome. That was my inner Baba Yaga chickening out, okay? Bakako, right. Right, so how does a mind virus spread among us? Through our emotions. That's what I'm saying, not him. And language. I'm saying that, not him. All right, so we are learning the details about how Wetiko functions and what inhibits it. A growing body of evidence from leaders in modern science suggests that our conscious and unconscious thoughts and intentions are not confined to our individual brains and bodies. Yeah, no shit. They can, I'll be saying that so many times throughout any book I read. they can operate in the world out there, distant from our individual selves, beyond the limitations and constraints of the here and now. This is the domain of non local mind, italicized non local mind. Mind that is boundless and boundaryless, infinite in space, time, and therefore connected and united with all other minds in the past, present, and future. Levy's account of how wetiko operates through the non-local field outside the constraints of space and time represents a continuation of an articulation of genuine non-local psychology of mind. Moreover, experiments, something I like to do on myself, unlike Mr. Elon Dumpy Dibbledink. Okay, well, no, he does experiment on himself, but, in really bad ways. But doesn't everybody, honestly. So, moreover, experiments in distant healing appear to critically influenced by love, compassion, and deep caring, just as healers throughout history have maintained. This is one of the greatest lessons of recent experiments. Love, compassion, still elements of empathy. Love and compassion are elements of empathy. Okay, I'm saying that, not him. Operating through non-local mind and remotely change the state of physical bodies in positive, helpful ways. But not just love. There is a dark side of the consciousness. The domain of Jung's concept of the shadow is where wetiko lives and operates in our lives, as Paul Levy shows. Studies in remote influence show also that harm can be extended to living things, microbes can be inhibited, cellular functions can be retarded, cells can be linked, and the activity of biochemical reactions can be reduced. Negative non-local intentions resemble the curses, hexes, and spells, which perhaps all pre-modern, primordial, 0 to 6 years, and many modern ones have believed in, pre-modern. That sounds like profound. Pre-modern, profound. Those are relational terms. In acknowledging the tenebrous, tena, fibrous side of non-local mind, these cultures demonstrate a more complex, sophisticated understanding of consciousness than we do. They accept a dark side of consciousness as simply the way things are, and they gracefully devise methods of protecting themselves. It is cultures such as our own which deny a negative non-local factor of consciousness that often get blindsided by it, as Paul Levy reveals. In any case, the capacity of humans to extend harm mentally and non-locally to living things should not be rejected. Instead, this ability can be used for good, for healing, as when human intentions are used to retard or kill cancer cells or invading pathogens. Consider if mind is genuinely non-local, this implies that individual minds cannot be completely separated and isolated from one another, and are joined in some sense, even as they simultaneously experience themselves individually. In some dimension, minds that are non-local come together to form a single unitary mind. This recognition is ancient. It is modern, as many outstanding scientists have realized. Footnote there, but I'm not going to that. Our non-local nature makes wetiko possible, but love, caring, and compassion also stem from that same quality of consciousness. This is an example of what the physicist Niels Bohr, Bohr, called complementary and coming together of apparent opposites to produce a more accurate picture of the whole. One is reminded of a maxim of the field of transpersonal psychology. In order to transcend the ego, you must first have one. Thus can say that wetiko is ultimately redeemed by its opposites. Love, empathy, caring, compassion. Those are all okay. Okay. Stop. Love, caring, compassion are elements of empathy. I don't like these books because they're not edited appropriately. I am an editor. All right? You're not going to take that from me. My mother was an editor. My father was an editor. My father was a data analyst. My mother was a data analyst. They were both doing that together for and against the Kochs at WSB radio station and McCann and Erickson in the 70s and 80s, okay? They still ended up memorialized as archetypal characters with my romanticized name that my father kept from my mother. My mother wanted to name me Margaret Claire Jordan or a mix or Garrett or so many other, mixes that they told me of, a beautiful romantic name that got memorialized as Allison Pill's character in the newsroom. You're not going to take that from me. Okay. So, all right. What is reminded Maxim? Okay, where was it? All right, empathy. Where are you? Yep. Okay. So, for these qualities, like wetiko, also have non-local infinite effects in the world. Why is it important to acknowledge non-local negative aspects of wetiko? Because ultimately wetiko is a world destroyer by virtue of non-local infectious nature. Incestuous nature. Hyperlexic, still dyslexic, doesn't mean I'm not quixotic and still exotic and understanding and comparing and contrasting and still empathizing. I'm empathizing and synthesizing. Empathy is a synthesis. Your blood is phthalo. Look at your fucking wrists, okay? You can see the blue. The blue is oxidized, okay? My arteries are still oxidized. What's inside my arteries? Black. Darkness. Black blood. Phthalo blood. All right. And am I going to do it in front of you? Fuck no. When you do the things that I'm not going to describe on camera for you, I'm not going to describe self-harm for you. Okay. I'm not doing that. So that's established. When you self-harm your body and, pick at your body and like take objects to your body and do things to your body physically, that's a warning. That's a sign. That's a signal. That's a cue. If you're self-harming, that's a cue. But what do you do when society is the harm? Hi, baby. What do you do? So, all right. All right. Because ultimately, wetiko is a world destroyer by virtue of its non-local infectious nature. It spreads globally. It is uncomfortable to individual minds. It has the capacity to wreck more than a single individual's life. It can destroy species our own. Okay. This is the stuff that Studio Ghibli was trying to tell Disney about, and Disney still screwed it up. Yep, they're still screwing it up. We're not helpless bystanders against wetiko. The ultimate antidote for its love is complementary, non-local opposite. But specific antidotes against wetiko have taken many forms in human history. Now read the words of Paul Levy, a true student and scholar in the burgeoning, oh my God, that word, field of wetiko, who has devoted more careful thought to wetiko than anyone I know. Doubt that very severely. Let us see what his explorations have uncovered about the disease and its cure. I don't know. It seems like black people have done plenty in trying to educate people, and people have not been doing a very good job of listening at all. And happens to themselves too. And I'm not happy to see that. It happens in any melanation content quotient. Dr. Larry Dossey, 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 Larry, earned his medical degree from Southwestern Medical School. Oh, that does not bode well. Because I've got a Southwestern based medical school here in Evansville, in my town, evangelical Evansville, that is just choking on evangelical ball sacks. Sorry, the vulgarity sticks. Well, anyway. He helped establish Dallas Diagnostic Association. Let's just stop.